of his story.
It was like having a client, the ETs, standing behind you while you're painting, and the feeling, make sure you get this right. It was so draining, and the physical sickness. I could feel the energy coming through to get that imagery right, and the feeling of huge responsibility, part of my work, getting the information out there. I believe the timing of things makes most things come about. I found the abductions at the time slightly different. I was waking up with funny tastes in my mouth, like salty lemonade taste. Back in the UK is where the activity starts to get physical, with marks. One prominent memory was waking up with blood in my mouth, realising that my tongue had been operated on. Well, a piece of my tongue was not only scraped clean, I have it on videotape, it's quite disgusting. There was a big scoop mark, but no pain, sore with blood. And the side of the tongue had marks in a geometric pattern, as if it had been clamped like fishhooks to keep it in place. I was in such a daze that day, and was getting funny looks from people, and I was just wondering, why do they want a piece of my tongue? And it was after that that I had the ET tattooing on the ends of my fingers, the hand that does the drawing, and again I ask why. I am now starting to get codes and symbols. The goalposts have shifted, it's quite bizarre. I was basically doing artwork on this one called Night Skies, and this young man, he's a star kid for sure, said, I've seen that, and my friend told him that I draw from life. When I did the automatic picture for the star kid, he's seen greys, but with flatter heads, not classic light bulb shaped heads. He's picking up on red eyes and a pronounced jaw, almost humanoid, classic. It's so bizarre when people see this stuff, it's like, oh my god, it jolts them rigid. This is the funny thing, I can draw proficiently what I experience. For what others see, I have to go into concept sketches to get it right. One person said to me about my art, my God, it's like you've drawn this from life. He doesn't know, of course. Something happens when people see this stuff. They're shaken. It's the narrative of the live picture that's driving me. And I will show you quickly what's coming through me. I'm also drawing lots with the full moon. The moon plays a big part. And greys with red eyes. I still find it astounding that it comes through so easily. What I've felt since childhood, I feel I don't belong here. I felt I belonged somewhere else. And this is not to say I'm not human, but I find the goings-on with the species known as humankind bizarre and primitive and still evolving. Even as a child, I could never understand what was going on. It was very distressing. I just wanted to be somewhere else. And I know I have work to do here, and again I know it sounds crazy, but I know I'm not crazy. I'm mad, but not crazy, just Monty Python mad. The ET involvement, quiet of late, maybe due to my circumstances. I think they're giving me a break. But you know I do miss it when they're not here. With me and my art, and this may sound odd, but it's my way of communicating, and it brings me closer to them. You know, if it goes on too long without an experience, it's like an old friend who you haven't spoken to in a long time. And yes, I know it sounds stark, raving mad, but I miss them. And when I catch up with them, it feels like I'm so glad, like an old friend, and the closeness is still there. It was like having a club.
So that was his personal experience. You've got my voiceover because he still needs to remain anonymous. He works in the film industry and obviously he can't talk about this, or he might not have a job. Again, so many people can't talk about this, even though it's affecting their lives totally and utterly profoundly. His story is on the second DVD up there, Expressions of ET Contact, a communication and healing blueprint. What I'm going to show you now is some ways that communication happens and also demonstrates the fact that these people have had experiences. We all know that when we have profound experiences, whether traumatic or profound in another way, we can often express our experiences through our art. And this lady, the artwork you're seeing here, is from an experiencer, Jane Doe, in America. And she sent me this art, and she's telling me a little bit about what it represents. She said all of these paintings were done after a UFO abduction experience in Phoenix, Arizona. The first one, she said, is a subconscious recollection of an underwater city like Atlantis, which you'll see to the left there. The second one is a UFO going